Hey, good morning, friends. Today is Tuesday, November the 19th, 2024, and the time now is 7:49 a.m. So, guys, there are lots of articles out there, and it is by now a huge news in international relations, in global politics, that the United States president or the United States, as led by Joe Biden, has approved or authorized Ukraine to use long-range U.S. missiles or U.S.-made missiles to strike deep into Russia. Now, many have been stressing, and even the Russians have stressed, that the consequence for both the United States and for Ukraine is going to be very extreme in terms of Russian retaliation. Now, friends, you are watching the playlist series, The Trends and Headlines in Geopolitics, and this is episode 21. Once again, friends, you are watching the playlist series, The Trends and Headlines in Geopolitics, and this is episode 21. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to this channel. Please share the link to this video with your friends and your families. Please share the links to my other videos with your friends and your families. And also, please share the link to this channel with your friends and your families. I want to thank you for being a member of the Echoing Voice community, and I also want to thank you a lot for watching the Echoing Voice. Once again, friends, it is by now a huge news all over the world and in global politics that Joe Biden has authorized Ukraine to strike deep into Russia using US-made long-range missiles. To that, my question is, why now? Why authorizing Ukraine to do that now? It is very strange but interesting, especially given that Joe Biden is a lame duck president. He has in office only about 2 months. Basically, Joe Biden has until the end of November, all of December, and until the middle of January. And then Donald Trump will once again become the president of the United States, basically taking the oath of the office. So once again, my question is, why now? The only answer that I could come up with is that this is a perfect setup, not only for the continuation of the war by the United States against the Russians, but a setup to make Donald Trump's effort to, quote unquote, as Donald Trump said, he is going to end the war swiftly when he comes into power, into office. Or this could also be an attempt to basically embarrass Donald Trump, to make Donald Trump's presidency, at least in the first few months, or even in the first few years, or even during the entirety of the Trump's presidency, a living hell. Because if the U.S. authorized Ukraine now and Ukraine begin to attack into Russia, deep into Russia, Russia is going to go hard. Which in this case, the consequence is that Trump is going to find it difficult to end the war in Ukraine. And that is if Trump really wants to end the war in Ukraine, if he is not just talking for the sake of talking and winning the election. By Ukraine striking deep into Russia and causing damage and humiliation, Russia is going to do the same. And Russia is going to be reluctant to bring about the end of the war, especially in a way that favors Ukraine. Now, I am not sure if Donald Trump is going to end the war in Ukraine. And this is because I do believe there are many who are invested in this war, even many in the Trump's camp. The war in Ukraine, as is the war in the Middle East, in Gaza, West Bank, Southern Lebanon, and the potential war between China and the United States over Taiwan, it's an American policy. It is not a Joe Biden policy. It is not going to be a Trump's policy. It's an American policy. Therefore, Trump retreating from Ukraine, it is going to be obvious to many in the United States and all over the world that the United States has cut and run, that Russia has defeated the United States and the Western coalition in Ukraine, that Russia has won the war in Ukraine. It is going to be a psychological blow to the United States effort and the United States reputation around the world. And for many Europeans who've invested in this war, especially the money bags and also the European elites, this is going to be a humiliation for them. Many has been talking about Trump is going to end NATO. No, he is not going to do that. But if he does that, it is going to be a bad thing for Europe and even for the United States. This is because one of the ways the United States maintains its strength and its empire is through the power of Europe. Europe is another wing of the United States empire or the United States strength around the world. So ending NATO is going to be a blowback for or against the United States. Now, in terms of the situation in Ukraine and the fact that Joe Biden has authorized Ukraine to strike deep into Russia using US-made or US-provided long-range missiles, I think the Russians are going to retaliate harshly against Ukraine. If Ukraine attack deep into Russia, they are going to cause damage and humiliation for Vladimir Putin. And however, to that, my question is, what now? Why is Joe Biden authorizing Ukraine now? And once again, my answer to that is to make Donald Trump's presidency a living hell. Now, my friends, I don't mean to offend anybody, so if you think I'm being offensive in what I just said, I apologize. If you think I'm right, please comment. If you think I'm wrong, also friends, please teach me, and I'm hoping and willing to learn. Now, friends, I'm going to end here. I want to thank you for being a member of the Echoing Voice community, but most especially, friends, I want to thank you a lot for watching the Echoing Voice. Peace.